Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my 1997 Jeep Cherokee project. So I got a couple things planned today. First of all, I want to get the Jeep emblem on the front of the Jeep and get that all painted and everything. And then I want to get the passenger airbag. I know there's one at the pick and pull, or there was a couple weeks ago, so I'm hoping it's still there. I just didn't know how to take it out properly and I didn't want to break it or make it go off or anything. So I left it. I got the driver's side one, and then I ordered the clock spring and the sensor module for the airbags on eBay. So all I need is that, and then maybe next week I'll do the install of the airbag replacement. But then if I get that there, I also want to get armrest thing cover like that because it's not on this side, and I want to get a chair replacement because this one is still being held on with zip ties. The other day somebody cut in front of me and I slammed on my brakes and it popped the zip ties and I was leaning back in my chair as I had to drive home. So that was super sketchy. I'd like to get that fixed as soon as possible. If I can find Jeep WJ or ZJ seats, I might switch them out because apparently the bolts are exactly the same. I also think it'd be awesome because you can't adjust the headrest on the XJ. So let's get started. Okay, so for the Jeep logo, I went to the pick and pull and I got these logo that I just used a box knife and cut them off, and then I primed them black already, and then they're going to need to be silver. So to make the Jeep logo silver, I found this Rust-Oleum chrome spray paint at the Home Depot. I don't know if it's any good, but that's what we're going to try. To mark it on the Jeep correctly, I cut out the letters and made the stencil. So I just went outside and put a coat of the silver on there, and once it dries I'm going to put a thing of clear coat on there and we'll get started. So while the logo dries, I decided to clean up the grill. After I cleaned it up, I noticed these big gouge marks that look like someone did them with a knife, and I'm not a huge fan, so at some point I might just completely replace the grill. I then taped on the stencil and marked it up with a carpenter's pencil. Where the two E's meet in the logo is the center, and that's 28.5 inches from the side, and it goes up 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. So I super glued it on there, and after looking, the J looked a little off to me, like it was going to the side. So I fixed it up, and I think it's not too bad. It's not perfect, but doing my best just offhand, I think I did pretty good. Now all I have to do is clean up some of the excess super glue, and it's good to go. So I made it to the pick and pull, and I found one of the Cherokees actually still had the driver's seat. I guess this is common. And it had a big rip in it, which I was willing to sell, but first I wanted to see if there were any Grand Cherokees with chairs in them still, because I'd prefer that, because they're more comfortable. Yay! Thankfully the airbag was still there from the Cherokee that I got the driver's side one from. And yeah, so I already got the first two bolts out. I just have to undo that plug on the top, and then get those two bolts on the bottom, and it should just slide right out. I made sure to take the cover for the airbag too, because the one that's already in the Jeep has a screw hole through it, which is not that great looking, so I'm going to just replace it with this one. While I'm at it, it was just like a pull, like a slide and pull off thing, but you kind of have to finagle it a little bit to get it off, but yeah, it's not too hard. For the airbag's plug, there's a little red tab that you have to pull out to get them to disconnect. It's a little hard, so I used some needle nose pliers and it came right out. Always gotta try 10mm first. That's it. So I used the 10mm and ratcheted it out for quite a while. It's kind of a long bolt, but eventually it's hand tight and you can just take it out that way. Nice and easy. I realized very quickly that the left bolt is not going to be as easy. So I kind of ended up going back and forth with tools over and over again, trying to get this. I used ratchet, I used just a normal wrench, I used channel locks, but honestly it's in such an awkward position that it's just going to be better to use a normal wrench and go slowly with it, so I eventually got it. Once I tried to pull it out, I realized it's not fully coming out, and when I looked further, I saw there's two little black plastic tabs holding on the plug, so I just used some clippers and snapped them off. I thought it was going to be beautiful. There. La airbag. Just like that, first thing off the checklist, got the airbag. I found these really nice brown WJ seats. They're manual. They're really clean and good condition. Just gotta take the car parts off. Afterwards, I used the hood of a car as a workbench and took the sliders off because I'm not gonna need those. I got back and cleaned off the Grand Cherokee seats and then began to take apart the old chairs. Started by breaking the zip ties and then sliding back the chair so I had access to the other bolts. When I went to the front bolt, it came out with just my hand, which is a little concerning, but that made it really easy. So I went to the back and I proceeded to unbolt the back left and right, and yeah. After I took off the bolts, the seat came out really easy. The sliders are in good condition. They're really solid still. They're just covered in like a dust of rust. I tightened them back down and cleaned them off as best as I could at the time. And then I started to bolt in the new WJ seats, starting with the back. Once I got them in, I think it looks not that bad. I don't think khaki is going to be the official color, but if I can find some black seats or something that are in good condition, one of these times I go to the U-Pull, that would be awesome. I sent this video to my buddy on Snapchat just because it was so crazy. The rust, this is what was holding me in. You can see it just snapped into pieces and it was just like bending like rubber. Like that's what was holding me in. The passenger seat wasn't as bad, but I replaced them both obviously so they would match, and just in general because it was still rusty. These seats had no rust on them, and they were in there great, and they're a lot more comfortable. I'm really satisfied with how they turned out. And while I was out working on my Jeep, I thought I might as well put on the little side turn signals and just do 2 screws, just nice and easy, and they're great now. So I think that's all I got to do today on my 97 Jeep Cherokee project. Next week I'm going to do the airbags. I've got the driver's and passenger airbag as well as the sensor module and the clock spring, so that should be all good to go. So wish me luck with that. But yeah, tune in next time, and bye.